Hey guys! So last week I asked you all to send me any questions that you have about freelance writing, and instead of answering those on my story, I figured that I would make a whole IGTV about it, just because one, there's so much to cover, and then two, I want you guys to be able to come back to it later on if you're interested in starting a freelance career for yourself. I got lots of questions about where to get started, how to find clients, how to maintain a steady income, and everything in between. So we're going to cover all of that during this IGTV. But first, I figured I would give you a little bit background on me and my freelance journey. So I started freelancing in June of 2020, so it's only been about 7 months now. And by no means am I an expert or claiming to be, but I have really learned a lot in the last 7 months about what it takes to be a freelancer, which is what has inspired me to talk more about it on my Instagram and share what I've learned with you guys. I'm not gonna lie, it was really rough at first. It was hard to find clients, and it takes a lot of time and effort and dedication to get to a point where you feel stable as a freelancer. And to be honest, I am just kind of now getting my feet on the ground and feeling really stable in my writing career. So if you're passionate about writing and you want to make your own schedule and have freedom and you want to try freelancing, you definitely have to be passionate about it and dedicated because it's not easy. But it is a lot of fun, and that's why I want to share all these tips and answer all of your questions that you guys asked me. And I am thinking about doing more segments like this on my Instagram TV in the future. So if what I say in the video is helpful or interesting to you, or if it's not, I want to know, and I'm open to any and all feedback, so please let me know in the comments what you think about this video and the tips that I provide. Okay, so the main question that I got when I asked you guys on my Instagram story what you wanted to know about freelancing was, where do I get started? And honestly, I had the same exact thoughts. I was like so lost. I didn't know what to do, but I knew that it was something that I wanted to try. So my first piece of advice is to reach out to other more experienced writers that you know or that you find on LinkedIn and reach out to them for advice. This is something that I did right away. Most people are willing to help you and provide the advice because they've been in your shoes. Everyone starts somewhere. The writers that I talked to provided me with some really great insight that I still use every day. So I definitely recommend doing that. And if you don't know any writers already, reach out to them on LinkedIn, find the email of a publication that you really like, and reach out. Just put yourself out there and see if anybody would be willing to chat with you and give you some tips. Some people might even refer you to a job, so it's also a good idea to reach out to people who are in the niche that you're interested in or want to pursue. My second tip to getting started is to sign up for freelance websites. So a lot of people are on Upwork. I'm on Fiverr and Guru, and at the beginning, this is where I really put forth a lot of my efforts. One thing I will say is that if you don't have much experience or you have no experience, you're going to want to start small, and you may not be getting paid very much for the articles that you write, but the experience will definitely pay off in the long run, and you can raise your prices as you gain more clients. Also, an amazing tool is LinkedIn, and I'm going to touch on that a little bit later, but make sure you update your LinkedIn with a new bio and, label yourself as a freelance writer. Add your location so that people can find you when they're looking for writers in the area. The second most asked question that I got was, how do I find clients? And of course, that is the true challenge of a freelancer is, where the heck do I find work? The first thing I'll say is to join Facebook groups or find a community of writers in your area. This is something that one of the writers I talked to at the beginning of my career actually told me to do. And I have found a variety of work through these Facebook groups. These are also really useful just to network and, again, get advice from other more experienced writers. People are always asking questions about how much should I price? Has anybody done this before? How do you make an invoice? So there's a ton of writers that are constantly giving advice and sharing their insight in those groups. A lot of people in these groups will also offload their work to other writers, so it's been a really useful tool for me. I've gotten several projects through different Facebook groups. One of them is female freelancers. There's another one called Binder, full of freelancers looking for editors and vice versa. So that's a good one for people wanting to pitch their ideas and figure out where to send it. And there are plenty of other ones out there that you can join and network in, and more likely than not, people will probably be looking for writers in those groups. Just make sure to be proactive because that's going to be the most important quality in finding work. When it comes to cold emailing, I'm going to be honest, you probably at the beginning will email 20 people and hear back from 1 or 2, but it's those 1 or 2 people that are going to give you a chance and put another article on your resume. So this is another thing to be extremely proactive about in the beginning. And it's important to try not and get discouraged because yes, you probably won't get a lot of responses, but eventually, if you keep trying, you will get one. So when you're going to cold email people, first of all, find publications that you're actually interested in and niches that you want to be writing about. A lot of publications will have their pitching guidelines on the website, so you just have to do the research and find those resources. And you can also, a lot of the time, find the correct contact for the kind of article that you're going to pitch. Usually what I do is put pitch in the subject line with whatever the topic of the article will be about. And then in the body of the email, I usually give a 1 to 2 sentence summary about who I am and, what kind of writing that I do. And then I'll follow that with the pitch idea. So usually it's a headline of the article with a few sentences about what it will be about or what you want to write about. At the end, I'll add several links to my previous writing examples and a link to my website. You don't need to go overboard with your pitch email because editors don't have a lot of time and they see so many emails coming in every day. So make sure to just be concise, get straight to the point, and send them your best works, especially ones that are related to whatever the topic is that you want to write about. Another thing that I have found as a great way to find clients is to share your work publicly on social media. I have a highlight on my Instagram that showcases a lot of my previous articles, so check that out if you're interested. And then I also share the links to my articles on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn, for me personally, has been probably one of the most useful tools. I not only share links to my articles, but I started being a lot more active on the platform, liking posts, commenting on other posts, and connecting with more people. And eventually, clients started to find me. And I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm pretty sure that LinkedIn's algorithm started working in my favor once I became a lot more active on the platform. Because like I said, clients started to find me, and I don't even know how that happened. So definitely a highly recommended tool. Another question that I got a lot was, how do you pay the bills? And I'm not gonna lie, it was a freaking struggle at the beginning, okay? But luckily, eventually I was able to find my way and I'm in a much more stable place. And one way that I did that is by finding a few really consistent clients. And this is a piece of advice that my mom actually gave to me because she was also a freelance writer back in the day. It's really great to have a few clients that you write for every single week so that you know that there's a consistent paycheck coming in, but then you still have the freedom to pursue one-off projects or articles for publications that you're really interested or passionate about. And again, freelancing is a challenging field because you really never know what each month is going to bring. So these consistent clients will really give you some comfort and stability. But again, you have to be so proactive about finding these clients and keeping them happy. So make sure to communicate, follow up with your clients. And personally, I always try to turn my projects in a little bit early just so that they're satisfied, they trust me, and they know that I'm always going to get their work done. And that's something that people are going to be looking for in a freelance writer. You're also going to want to streamline your process with new clients. So send them a contract at the beginning to just ensure that all your payments are going to be met and that you are going to complete all the work that they ask for. This also helps make sure that you both are on the same page about what they're actually hiring you to do. It's your job to keep track of the payments that you are collecting. So what I did is create an Excel sheet of all my clients for the month, and I list the date that I turned in the project, what the project is, how much I charged for it, and whether I have turned it in, received the payment, etc. So just find a way that works for you to stay organized and make sure that you're on top of all these payments so that nothing gets missed in the process of work. And the last question that I'm going to answer is just about what a day in my life as a freelancer looks like. Freelancing is great because you do have so much freedom to, create your own schedule and do what you will with your day each day. But what I have found extremely crucial to my freelancing success is to create a schedule for myself. At the beginning, I had no freaking clue what I was doing. And I would get up each day and not really know where to start. And now I have a to-do list that I make every day, every week. lay out all the projects that I have planned for that week, and I stick to a really consistent schedule. And this has seriously changed the game for me because I now am feeling much more organized and on top of my tasks. I personally have a really specific morning routine that I do every single day, and that really has helped me just start my day on the right foot and get me kind of in the right headspace to get to work. And again, it can be hard because you're working from home. Well, everybody is right now, but you know what I mean. And you do have a lot more freedom. I start each morning at 6:45. I usually wake up and I journal first thing in the morning. Then I read, then I make my coffee. Sometimes I'll work out, but usually I have pretty chill, slow mornings. So then when I go into my workspace, I'm feeling refreshed and ready to go. But that's just what works for me. So find whatever kind of organization tools or scheduling works for you and run with it. And I think that's all I'm going to answer for right now. But if you guys are interested in learning more or you have more questions, make sure to drop them in the comments and I will maybe do something like this again. If you want to see more of these IGTVs, let me know because I've really never done something like this before and I think it could be fun. So if you're still watching, thank you, and I will catch you on my Instagram feed.